people, welcome back to United View. And today, yes, it's a road trip video, but it's not flex, it's me. I got the keys, guys. I got the keys. And today we are heading to Wembley Stadium as Manchester United women are taking on Chelsea in their first ever FA Cup final. It's really our first ever sort of final, which I'm really excited for because, you know, United was assembled about 5 years ago, well, reassembled. And now we've made it to the first final. And I think this season, a lot of fans, I think management themselves, the goal was just Champions League football, and now FA Cup final, and we are still competing for the WSL title. Today is all about good vibes because I'm feeling I woke up feeling so optimistic. A lot of fans that I've spoken to have been feeling optimistic. Obviously Chelsea is not an easy team. They've won it 4 times, and even though they've got a lot of players out missing because of injury, they still manage to always turn it around somehow. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be 2-1. But what I'm more interested about is Katie Zellem will be leading Manchester United women out, and she is one of the originals. We like to call it the originals. She started from Manchester United's academy, then she moved away when the women's team was disarmed, and then she came back and was part of the first ever Manchester United women's team in 2018. And today she's going to be leading them out at Wembley Stadium. Obviously Ella Toone is part of that, Millie Turner is part of that, Leah Golton is part of that, and they're all of the people that I've just named are in great form this season. We could talk about the likes of Alicia Russo, but we can also talk about OWEN, the best right back in the world, I would say, and quite a lot of people say she is the best right back in the world, and I don't think anybody can really argue with me about that because she's on 16 assists all season. In what world does a right back get 16 assists? She's got the joint most in the Premier League, in the WSL, sorry. And what can I say? Even though her contract's expiring, I think she's going to be the difference maker. OWEN is going to be the difference maker today. There's a cat crossing the road. I nearly ran it over, guys. I love cats. Well, I don't, but I will never run a cat over, and it just literally tried to commit suicide in the street, so I had to swerve. But back to Manchester United talk, guys. I want to know what you guys think in the comments, as always. Yesterday the men's team got a win. Obviously they're heading to the FA Cup final against different opponents. Chelsea have actually not been in, I would say they're in a difficult form this season, especially with all the injuries they're missing out of, getting knocked out of the Champions League. But last time we played them, and you guys will remember because I covered it on the channel, we lost 1-0 because of silly refereeing. We were robbed of 2 penalty shouts, and it was just 1 goal that we conceded in the first 7 minutes. A lot could change. Today there's actually VAR in the FA Cup final, so with the luck that United women have had, I'm hoping VAR might work in their favour. But you guys, we never know because VAR never seems to work in anybody's favour, especially not Manchester United. But on that note, I was talking to Mark Skinner in the press conference earlier this week, and he did say that, you know, I asked him, quite a few journalists actually asked him about what he's been saying to the players, because, you know, as the first manager to take Manchester United to Wembley, that's a bit of a iconic moment. And he said, I'm going to tell my players, and I've told my players, I'm not here for sentiment, save the sentiment for later. And I hear it. Obviously a lot of people are kind of getting warped up in this whole, Manchester United's first final, the originals, they could win a trophy, and he's like, we just need to get the job done. And he feels like we are actually as good as Chelsea, which is, I think, a big compliment, because Chelsea have been one of the greatest English women's teams for a long time. You know, for so many years the WSL was dominated by Chelsea and Arsenal, and now Manchester City have come into talks, now Man United have come into talks, Aston Villa's coming into the talks of, you know, impressive clubs in English women's football. So maybe today Manchester United could not cement, because, you know, there's nothing really cemented, but maybe today Manchester United can finally start that journey to being a serious club in women's football in England, because I think we are the most hated out of the top teams. Yes, guys, sorry, I know it's a bit bumpy, but if anybody knows what some parts of London are like, you know there's speed bumps everywhere. The council is trying to get everyone to slow down. But on the topic of Mark Skinner, he's obviously got a 1-year extension of his contract. So he'll be here for at least 1 more year. And maybe next year, Champions League football, European trips. It's going to be some exciting times. But today, it's all about the FA Cup. Millie Turner is back. Maya Letitia, easily one of the best she's the Lissandra Martinez of the women's team. And if you know what I mean, and I don't mean it in like she's aggressive and she's like she's a butcher and all of that kind of stuff. I mean it in the fact that she has the best passing as a centre back probably in the league, and she's only 21 years old. Imagine being that young, having that much talent. And she only joined Manchester United last summer, and she's become a fan favourite already. She's built a partnership with Millie Turner, Mary Earps, on her way, similar to David De Gea, for the Golden Glove this season as well. And that would actually be quite iconic, that both men and women's goalkeepers pick up the Golden Glove, because I don't think that's ever actually happened for Manchester United. So that says a lot about the defenders that they have in front of them. You know, Ona Batier, Millie Turner, Maya Letitia, Hannah Blundell, who is actually playing against her former team. She's won it, I think, twice. She's won the FA Cup twice with Chelsea, and she lost, I think, one final. So it'll be really interesting to see how we come out. Manchester United sold out their section, 8,000 fans. But there's definitely going to be way more than that, because you know there's a lot of neutrals in the stadium. We will be there bringing you guys all the content. Let me know your match predictions. What's your expectations? Because like I said, I'm going for a 2-1 win, and that's really optimistic to say that Chelsea will concede 2 goals, because that's not been the case too often this season against other big clubs. But I'm really feeling optimistic. You know, we have the super subs. I was about to end the video, guys, and not talk about the super subs. We got Rachel Williams, Martha Thomas, Lucia Garcia, Boa Risa, who is in great form this season, and she's not really had that much opportunity. She absolutely filled the role for Katie Zeleb in the last fixture perfectly. Her and Hayley Ladd make a great partnership. She's so electric on the ball. I'm not going to compare, I don't like to compare women's team players to the men's team players, so I'm not going to do that. But one thing I will say is that we have a great bench. We have a bench that is more than capable of coming on and making direct impact. We've seen it so many times. We've seen, you know, winners scored to get us to the Champions League. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I'm really talking about Champions League like we've even completely qualified. But we've had quite a few players that have come on and scored winners to get us to the FA Cup final. We've seen players this season come on and score winners in the WSL for us. That has been, you know, the key difference. I'm not going to talk too much about the WSL because there's 2 more fixtures to go, and we'll be covering it here on United View. But let me know, guys, your predictions. I'm off to get a coffee because I'm tired as hell, but I'm in a good mood. I'm saying 2-1. I think Ella Toone, Alicia Russo, they're going to step up, because Wembley is where dreams are made. That's where they won the Euros. That's where dreams are made. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and keep a lookout for all the content that's coming today. There's no men's football, but it's a women's FA Cup final. Let's go.